We have been following throughout the past 2 days surrounds a superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the...
That wasn't just a headline. It was a warning shot. The second Caitlin Clark was ruled out of the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, the entire weekend unraveled. Ticket prices didn't slide. They nosedived, dropping from $121 to $64 in a matter of hours. But that 48% plunge wasn't just about empty seats. It exposed a deeper, more dangerous reality. What looked like fan frustration on the surface became a turning point in private CBA negotiations, where that number turned into hard evidence. It revealed the league's biggest vulnerability, a business model heavily dependent on one generational star. And just like that, the players weren't negotiating from emotion anymore. They had receipts. On the surface, it looked like a tough break for the fans. But behind the curtain, it was a revelation. Because in the middle of high stakes, pressure-cooked negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, the players and their union finally got something priceless. Proof. Not hope, not projections, receipts. Proof that the league's financial engine isn't built on broad, steady growth. It's built on one name, Caitlin Clark. And if just one injury can send ticket prices into free fall and gut the league's showcase weekend, that's not a sign of strength. That's a system held together by one thread.
Though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans.
While the media flooded headlines with Angel Reese's viral Reebok campaign plastering Indianapolis with bold billboards and that now infamous line, "Walk in your trap. Take over your trap," a far more calculated war was brewing just beneath the surface. Because while fans debated whether Reese was taking a shot at Caitlin Clark, the All-Star players were organizing something much bigger. And when they stepped onto the court in stark black shirts reading, "Pay us what you owe us," it wasn't some emotional reaction. It was a chess move, cool, deliberate, and perfectly timed. A public power play aimed right at the WNBA's most vulnerable pressure point, its financial dependency on a single superstar. And in that moment, the message couldn't have been clearer. If losing one player can erase millions in ticket revenue, collapse TV ratings, and tank the value of your premier event, then the entire system is broken.
Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word, or to be honest, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she did show it by her actions. She didn't need to say, "I'm taking over Chicago." She did, though, however, go and put up 31 and 12, set a career high with 12 assists, be the only player in the history of the WNBA ever to have 31 and 12 in a game. She did, in fact, do that and then try to hype up the Chicago crowd. So it's fair enough, you want to say, "Oh, Caitlin Clark did this," then show it with your actions. Go and win MVP. Go and win MVP. Don't just be like, "This is my city." Don't just come in and be like, "This is my city." You've never won a game. Has she won a game in Indiana? I don't think she's ever won a game in Indiana.
This isn't just a protest anymore. It's a full-scale boardroom war. And both sides are now fully armed. On one side sits Cathy Engelbert, commissioner of the WNBA, the face of the league, the diplomat, the protector of the owner's bottom line. Her job? Project Calm. Control the message. Keep saying the talks are constructive, but across the table is someone who's done playing nice.
And it's not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, Caitlin Clark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 a ticket to $64 a ticket after the news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing." I mean, the tickets lost 50% of its value. These numbers are confirmed by TickPick's website, currently having the All-Star Game's get-in price at $64, and a July 16th article from Front Office Sports, which was posted before Clark announced she'd be sitting out, was $121.
She's not coming to the table with emotions. She's coming with hard facts. Ticket prices collapsed. Viewership plummeted. A $2. $2 billion media deal is on the horizon. Yet league minimum salaries are still stuck at just $66,000. Her argument isn't about fairness anymore. It's about market value. About what the numbers prove. Cold, hard, revenue-generating truth. And now, the players have the leverage to demand change the league can't afford to ignore. The movement had momentum, the shirts were bold, the crowd had questions, and for a moment, it felt like the players were finally operating from a position of undeniable leverage. The absence of Caitlin Clark wasn't just a roster change, it was a financial earthquake. Ticket prices dropped nearly 50%. Viewership cooled. Sponsors blinked. The data was devastating, and for the players' union, it was gold. A once-in-a-generation opportunity to demand more, backed not by emotion, but by economics.
Fortunate that Caitlin Clark missed it. The crowd would have been exploding. The crowd would have been exploding. The arena would have been exploding. Oh man, a big miss.
But the implications were explosive. Because in that one sentence, she unintentionally exposed a massive crack in what looked like a united front. The team whose missing star had created the leverage didn't participate in the protest that used her absence as its central argument. That's not just a footnote. That's a gift-wrapped advantage handed directly to the league's front office. And you better believe they noticed. You see, when it comes to high-stakes negotiations, especially with a $2.2 billion media deal looming, unity is everything. And the league's power brokers, led by Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, understood that better than anyone. They didn't need to discredit the protest. They just needed to poke a hole in it, subtly. Quietly. Whisper into the right ears. Are you sure all the stars are aligned on this? Is this really about all players or just a few? Can you speak for the whole locker room? It's the oldest play in the book. Divide and conquer. And it works. Not with a press release, but with suggestion. The message starts to fracture. The press starts asking different questions. Momentum slows. The movement becomes negotiable. And just like that, what looked like a wall of solidarity becomes something much more fragile. A coalition of individuals with different goals, different loyalties, and different stakes. The protest was a masterstroke. But Plum's comment, intentional or not, cracked open the door for doubt. And in boardrooms where billions are on the line, even a crack can become a wedge. Here's the question that's now echoing through every boardroom at WNBA headquarters. If the entire economic engine of your league can stall because of one player's absence, then who's really steering the wheel? This isn't just a red flag, it's a full-blown alarm. The ticket prices didn't slip, they nosedived. The media buzz didn't slow, it vanished. And with it, every talking point about balanced parity and steady league growth disintegrated. What's left in the rubble is an undeniable truth. The WNBA isn't growing because of systems or slogans. It's surviving because of stars. Once-in-a-generation stars who don't just sell jerseys. They carry franchises, ratings, and revenue. And now, those players have the receipts. They've seen what happens when one of them disappears. The whole house of cards starts shaking. And in the middle of a high-stakes CBA negotiation, that kind of proof isn't just leverage, it's ammunition. The players aren't waiting for equity. They're not begging for respect. They're wielding influence like a hammer. And the league? It's being forced to answer a question it's been dodging for years. If your stars know their true value, how long can you keep underpaying them? The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game won't go down in history for what happened on the court. It'll go down for what it revealed off it. When Caitlin Clark's injury forced her to sit out, the ripple effect wasn't just visible, it was seismic. Ticket prices nosedived, ratings cooled, and what was supposed to be a showcase for the league's brightest stars became a mirror reflecting an uncomfortable truth. One player's absence could collapse the event's entire value proposition, and that truth didn't go unnoticed. While cameras focused on highlight plays, the real story was playing out in plain sight. Black protest shirts, bold statements, and a roster of athletes who've had enough of waiting politely for change. "Pay us what you owe us" wasn't just a slogan. It was a direct challenge to a league built on underpayment and over-expectation. For years, WNBA stars were told to trust the process, that their time would come. But now, armed with data, momentum, and cultural visibility, the players are done asking, they're demanding. And the league? It's running out of places to hide. This isn't just a labor issue. It's an identity crisis. Who really holds the value? Who gets to decide what the future of the WNBA looks like? The invoice has arrived, and it's got years of back pay written all over it. Ignore it, and the league won't just face internal friction. It could unravel the very foundation it's built on. A forced trade, a historic shift, a league redefining itself in real time. Checkmate. This isn't a tantrum. This is the modern blueprint for WNBA superstars. This is the start of something much bigger than just one player or one team. Now we want to hear from you. Is this a brilliant strategic play from Aaron Kane or a risky gamble that could backfire on Clark? Is this how the WNBA moves forward, or does it threaten to fracture what the league's built? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more real analysis, less fluff, more substance, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Because this story, it's just getting started.